All right, welcome to another episode of Song Title Challenge, where the question is, climbers, how would you write this one? In this episode, we do this every other Friday. Climbers, listeners of this podcast, which means you.
That's right.
Send in your song titles, as many as you want, to info@daredevilproduction.com. Production is singular. There is no S. Info@daredevilproduction.com. Put song title challenge in the subject line so it gets into the right folder. If you don't, it won't. All right. So make sure that happens. And you can continue sending them in if you sent them in before. I mean, we just kind of cycle through. There's a lot in there. I just sort of pick something that I think whatever blows my skirt up at the moment in time, and we go from there. The only thing I avoid is, like, sometimes people send stuff in that I know it's already a song title, or like it's like I've heard it before, like it's a line from another song and they're going to make that a title or something. I don't know.
I'm not opposed to that.
You're not?
No, I teach on that. It's called buried treasure.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. Buried treasure, dude. Oh, I totally do that.
I'm an a-hole then, because I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like,
oh yeah, because I figure most titles are lines in other songs, whether we know it or not. So what's the point? So
you've cornered me with logic. So yeah. I stand corrected, sir. See, I learned something on this.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I've taught on that twice this week already about looking for buried treasure.
Well, now it's 3 times.
It is. All right.
Because I just figured that out. So anyway, you send in the titles. What I do is I spring them to Brent live on the podcast here, and we mimic what you should be doing with your song titles before you get into a write. And sometimes what ends up happening, like at a write, like in the first 15 minutes. So it's like a little quick, fun, creative exercise that will breathe new life into your old song titles that you don't think have any energy in them anymore, that it seem old and rusty and wilted lettuce. And you're like, I had it. Like, for one reason, like a couple years ago, I got excited enough to write it down in the hook book, and now I'm not feeling it anymore. This exercise will breathe new life into that and make sure that you write better songs. And so what we do is we cook up 5 or 6 different angles to write the same song or the same title, so that you're not necessarily going for the low, super low hanging rotten cliche fruit that is just so there and apparent. Like, if you dig down a little bit, do a little bit of extra work, then all of a sudden you get this different angle. And let me tell you something, you want to have fun time writing lyrics, you want to turn on your co-writers, come in with a title with a different angle that surprises them, and they're going to be like, oh yes, Hercules, let's
right.
go. So with that said, this is a fun creative exercise. I said that before, not trying to be redundant, but it is not a co-write in any way, shape, or form. So when you send your stuff in, whatever Brent and I come up with here on the show, by all means, use it, don't use it, use all of it, use none of it. It's all good. We just ask you that you invite us to the number 1 party after it pops. Okay.
Amen.
Fair enough. Yep. Anything you want to add to that, brother?
No, this is just to hopefully encourage you to dig more deeply. I mean, I pulled out a years old song title, within the past year and a half, something like that, reworked it, figured out the angle, because I write Southern gospel now, in addition to country and stuff. And I was trying to make it a country song or something before. I didn't ever figure out what to do with it. Pulled it out years later. Song title challenged it, worked on it, figured out how to write it, and it's supposed to be getting cut today. So hopefully I'll get an email that, I got the email yesterday that, like, hey, we're cutting tomorrow. You're going to be blown away by the production. I'm like, great. And so hopefully today we're getting that sucker cut. And that was, years old song title that got pulled back out. So
that is awesome.
Yeah. So
nice.
Hopefully I didn't just jinx it.
Hopefully not. All right.
Hopefully
so
not.
Here we go. This song title is from Larry Powell.
Larry.
In Buffalo, New York.
He is in
Larry
Buffalo.
Powell. So thank you for sending that in, Larry. And the song title is, and I'm going to just make a little tweak to this. So the full song title that he sent in was I Got Ghosted.
I Got Ghosted.
I Got Ghosted.
I Got Ghosted.
And my hot take on that at the beginning, which I always like to give because I have certain, sometimes I'll look at a title. I just think this is the most bland, boring thing. I don't know what we're going to come up with. And then we come up with something incredible from this exercise. And it's like, oh, it's so exciting. And
That's why they
sometimes I
play
look
the
at
game.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes I look at a title. I'm like, okay, this is really interesting. So I think that I Got Ghosted is like very, very, very specific.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of ways you can go with that. And so, but I feel like if the song was called Ghosted, that there's all of a sudden, a lot more doors open up, a lot of different ways that we can work that.
Yeah, I think Ghosted is a much cooler title than I Got Ghosted. I Got Ghosted, just, I don't know. There's something about the way it feels in my mind about how it would have to sing, and something for an artist to say, I got ghosted. Even if they say I got ghosted, but having that as a title, it makes it feel, then this is all feel and opinion, and who knows,
I feel like that could be one angle
or something. I don't know. Just
I feel like that could be one angle that could be fun if it was like a tongue-in-cheek thing, maybe like I got ghosted, and it'd be like self-deprecating or whatever. But that could be like one angle. But I don't know. I just feel like you boxed in on that. But if we say ghosted, then I Got Ghosted could be one angle, and and then Ghosted we could go different routes.
You could go different routes, right? So, let's just play with both of them. So let's start with I Got Ghosted. I think you're right, Johnny, that it would need to be kind of tongue-in-cheek and fun, just because I think that title, you couldn't go real serious with that just with the title. It doesn't feel that way. It's a feel thing. It's from doing this for years going, I didn't feel like I can get away with singing like, seriously, I got ghosted. Maybe ghosted. And if you make it like a haunting kind of theme and musically, could be cool. Like one thing I think, if you just say ghosted, because we know what that means, and for No Climber Left Behind, if you're not familiar with that term, it basically means like you've been talking to someone, maybe you've been dating them, or been talking about going out, kind of flirt or whatever. Then all of a sudden, or even just with a friend or somebody, all of a sudden they just stop communicating back. So you text them, you never hear back. You email them, you never hear back. They don't answer your call. It's like they've turned into a ghost, right?
Yeah.
So I got ghosted. It means they're like no longer on this mortal plane. So that's what that means. So I could see a haunting kind of ethereal kind of sound where it's just called Ghosted, but it is about that person that you're dating, or I think at this point, if it's going to be song worthy and it's going to be haunting, it's like, we were going out and all of a sudden I'm ghosted. But then it haunts me, like, like that memory kind of is haunting you. So maybe it's an ex, you're in love. It's not just maybe, because it has to have the emotional weight to be heavy enough to write a song.
So Ghosted could be there, right? That could be one angle. That's a really cool angle. Like, I didn't think about it like that. But
not only are they not returning my calls, but their memory haunts me. Like it's like I'm being haunted. Not only are they not returning my calls, but or my text or whatever. But man, I hear their voice at night. And
and that could be like a deep pain thing.
It's like I'm being haunted here, and the music should follow that kind of theme. And I think it could be kind of cool. I mean, you could go like a cool, like Eric Churchy kind of like Rattling Chains kind of thing, where it's like kind of a more rock and roll, like Ghosted. Or it could be more like even female, ethereal kind of poppy, but like, like Billie Eilish kind of vibe, where it's spooky, but not as like testosterone-y, like haunting. So I think you could go either way, which both could be cool. Yes, Horseshack. Yeah.
I think, okay, so
people have no idea why I just said Horseshack, by the way. So many people.
Dude,
no idea.
I've had 5 different moments this week with my interns. I'm like, you don't know what this is? No? Really?
Yeah.
Like, it's not even that as old as Horseshack. Like, I'm not talking 70s. I'm talking like 90s.
Oh man, when I figured out that my interns literally, they were born in the 2000s. It's like, wow, where was I then? Okay, I was out of grad school, and you weren't even born yet.
Let's not talk about that, or I'm going to ghost you.
But
you know what? Okay, so from a female perspective, a very women power, girl power kind of song, and very much a real situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where I got ghosted, and then I toasted your exit, I toasted your absence, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's all good. Like, you're just another. You're just another
Ghost to Toast, which was a song title challenge from way back. Remember that?
Oh,
Ghost
right.
to Toast?
Yeah, I do. It was way back.
That was way
That's
back.
going from the archive.
That is.
So yeah, something like that. You know, like where it's just like, I don't care. Like, if you lost the best thing in your life, you know, or the best. I could have been the best thing that happened to you. You know, something that's very much like, it's all good, girls. We got to stick together. You know, that kind of a thing.
Yeah,
that could be a cool angle to it.
Thinking about the spiritual stuff like Ghost. Okay, so what, here, let the title write the song. So we have the obvious meaning of the slang meaning of they just stopped, communicating. They're ignoring you, which, by the way, is the most frustrating thing in life, is to be ignored, because that's so totally invalidating, belittling, like drives me nuts, right? That's one of my, can't stand that, right? So, especially if it's someone like you liked or had a crush on, you're like, wow, not even like giving me the honor of saying no.
Right.
But anyway, so Ghost, but you think spirit, life, death, heaven, hell, right? So all that stuff, if you do clustering exercises to write down stuff that Ghost makes you think of, haunting. So heaven and hell, like, I got ghosted, but, I'm in heaven now. Like, thank goodness you ghosted me, because now I ended up with somebody that actually is worth my time, kind of thing. So it could be like, I got ghosted, but, or he's in hell, or I got ghosted, and that ghost can go to hell. It's not like being angry, right? So there's that, or I'm in heaven because I'm glad he ghosted me, because, maybe I end up, going out by myself and meeting the Mr. Right or Mrs. Right or whatever.
I'm in heaven. I'm so glad he ghosted me.
Exactly. I got ghosted. I'm in heaven now.
That's good. That's really good right there. That's cool.
So that, that makes it positive, because normally you got ghosted, that's a very negative thing. But he's like, okay, you can be mad and go, I got ghosted, and that ghost can go to hell. Like, he's the ghost.
How about okay, back to the original title, I got ghosted. What if you played off of, I got this, I got that, I had this, I had that, then I got ghosted, or something? Like, how could you set that up to?
Yeah, it's like, and I still got ghosted. It could be like, I had all this stuff going for me, and I got ghosted.
Still.
Or I got, so that would be a thing, tongue in cheek, kind of surprise, punchline. Or I got lazy, I got cocky, I got, complacent, I got ghosted. It's a little bit of a morality story, like a warning. I
got lazy, I got cocky, I got a little toasted, and then I got ghosted.
Right. Like, what not to do.
She's too good. Like, she's
I got ghosted by an angel, kind of thing, It's like,
yeah. Oh, that's good.
Which, angel, that's really, that's really tricky to pull off,
Yeah.
In most genres, just
without being cheesy,
or just overused, that kind of stuff. You got to be real careful about using angel. God, I got ghosted. What, is there a thing about, like, I became the ghost? There's that old Shenandoah song, which is just so good, and y'all have to check it out if you don't already know. It's called Ghost in This House. I'm just a ghost in this house. I'm just a shadow of, a man, kind of thing, just, rattling around, whatever, haunting these halls. I'm just a ghost in this house, like, since you left.
Right.
Is there a way to say, like, I've become a ghosted. Like, so turn it, instead of like, I got ghosted because this person I was talking to became a ghost, and now you can't see him, you can't find him anywhere. Somehow I became the ghost. Like, it sucked the life out of me. I'm just a shadow. I'm on a wall. I'm just a cold chill. I don't know.
How about a song about, like, living the dichotomy, like an awakening, right? Like, the people who bought the bill of goods, that you go work some job that you can't stand, and so that you can make money and raise a family and be a man, and you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, and then that sucked the life out of you, right? And then all of a sudden you got ghosted. Like I got ghosted. Like I became the ghost, and then you could do some serious subject matter there, where you sort of had this awakening, and now that's another way to spin. I got ghosted, and now I'm in heaven. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like now I figured out what living is about. You know, you spend a third of your life working, and a third of your life sleeping, and a third of your life playing. So you better make sure that what you're doing for work is something that you love.
Right. Yeah. Because it's way more than a third.
It reminds me of a story my dad told me, like before he sort of took over this like little bitty business that my grandfather had started, that my dad turned into a much bigger business with my grandfather. But at the time, like he was just out of the Marine Corps. I'm 4 years old, and we were living in Atlanta, and he was working a union job at an American can company, driving a forklift on the night shift. Right. So there's like nothing going on, barely. Right. And so he's like, I read a lot of books when on that job. And there's another guy there too, that was also another forklift driver. And all this guy did was complain about the gig. And my dad's like, why don't you just go get another job, man? And he's like, no, I've got 6 years left until my retirement. So he's like, dude, he's dead already. And he's thinking about that instead of living in the right now. So is there an angle there? Like,
to me, that seems more like ghosting, instead of ghosted. Like, and that's one thing I'd worry about with this is if you said I got ghosted, it'll be hard to overcome the normal
negative
meaning of that to be like, I became the ghost. That'd be like ghosting, it would be that. So I wonder about that, but it's neat if you can kind of talk about that, about, people just kind of dead man walking kind of thing, or just, ghost in the shell kind of thing. I got ghosted. I also feel like I got killed. I got turned into a ghost, out there just making ghost.
Is there a religious spin to this? Is in Holy Ghost?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's interesting. Yeah, like a almost here like a gospel.
Like I got ghosted, like I got saved.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I got Holy Ghosted.
Yeah. I got ghosted. Holy ghosted.
Yeah, it might be really cool. Like, and I'm hearing like Kirk Franklin, like gospel
Kirk Franklin and the family. Yeah.
Like gospel choir, hands up in the air kind of thing. For some reason,
Drake White could kill that.
Drake White kind of thing. Yeah, like a very soulful kind of thing. Like I got ghosted. So I feel like you need to play off the original, like the common meaning of I got ghosted. So, what could that mean? Like where I got shut off from something. I'm not sure how that would play in there. Maybe just,
well, what if it's,
maybe you don't have to play
what if it's
off
like
that.
a
Maybe
found religion?
Country.
Are we still talking about the religious thing? Is that what you're saying? Or
yeah. I'm just wondering if I'm like applying too much of my countryism to go, well, we got to play off the original.
No, because I think that's the ambush, right? I got ghosted. Of course, you're going to think exactly like I'm going to roll my eyes as a publisher when I listen to that.
Yeah.
When I look at that title, but then it's like, oh dang, that's cool. You know what I mean? I got ghosted.
I would still call it ghosted because I think it's just a cooler title. But yeah, it's like I got ghosted. Spirit laid on me. Now I know it's a da-da-da.
Yeah.
Now
I'm floating around the room on a cloud. Like, I mean, the different sort of visuals that you could bring into that.
What
I can walk through walls. You know what I mean? I can, like, all of a sudden I'm invincible because I've got
like the Holy Ghost walked through the walls I put up. Like the Spirit walked through the walls I put up. I got ghosted. Like he got to me.
Cool that down. Like if I had a hat, I'd be waving it at you right now. That's hot.
Hallelujah.
That's
hot. And I wonder if you could bring it back around in a bridge or in the second verse or whatever. And now, like I don't fool around with the devil no more. He's calling me up, but you know what? He's probably sitting there thinking, I got ghosted. Like I'm ghosting the devil, right?
Oh, Dude, that's the second verse.
So
like,
that's
so
where you can
good.
bring in like the common vernacular version of it. Is like the devil's thinking, I got ghosted. Yeah, you got because I got Holy Ghosted. So yeah, you lost another one, sucker.
That's really good, dude. That's fun.
That could be fun. And I'm thinking fun. Choir, hands in the air, praise. I mean, that's to me feels like the strongest for that genre. I think that's really cool.
That could be cool enough if you had like an Eric Church character delivering that. You might be able to pull that off in a certain way. Hey, what if? Okay, you know how she makes me want to be a better man. Okay, What if it's her? What if it's her that she ghosted you, but it's a positive thing? Like I got ghosted by her, and it's like she
walked
brought
through
me
the walls I put up.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I wasn't even thinking that. Yeah. That's cool too. But which is an interesting angle. But what if like she's the one that got you saved?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Right? Like what if she's the one that testified and you're trying to be a better man. Yeah. And I was trying to do everything for her, and then I got ghosted, and then all of a sudden, now you found the religion, but also I like the fact that she's the religion.
And it would be like,
that's interesting.
She ghosted me. She led me, she laid that spirit on me. Wouldn't let go of me.
Walked right through the walls I had up for so long. Like they never even existed.
It's like, so it's not like she saved me, but she's the one that pointed me and led me and kept basically, discipling me. She ghosted me. She walked right through my walls, wouldn't let go of me till Jesus made him fall, or till the Spirit made him fall, and now I'm Thank God.
Or like from a love angle.
Well,
without the religion, just like she ghosted me, like walked right through the walls, and now I'm floating around, and I'm in heaven, and you know what I mean? Like I got ghosted. Oh, dude, that's cool too.
That old like
pop
sad,
right there.
That old sad whatever I used to be. He's dead now. She ghosted me. Used to be ghosted me, might be able to get kind of a thing there.
Yeah.
So that's a way to make it positive.
Those are some good angles there.
Yeah, and so the opposite of what, but you bring it out where like this is what ghost means. She walked through my walls. She. I don't know if you do a man possessed kind of thing, or she just haunted me and just wouldn't let me go. Man, that's
There could be you could be chains like the chains that ghosts have, like instead of rattle the chains or whatever. It's like you're freed from them, right?
Yeah,
like the chains you put on yourself. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah. So I think there's some cool stuff there too. But yeah, maybe kind of an Eric Churchy kind of, where it's got that rock kind of edge to it. And you can, I don't see I don't know. I mean, like a Rascal Flatts thing or Dan and Shay, unless it was more the, she saved me, she brought me to Jesus kind of thing, not the, there's a different Eric Church kind of vibe, right? So it depends on kind of what lane you want to put that in. And I think that could be cool too. But I think the title would be Ghosted. But that's some fun ones.
There's some good stuff in there, man. Like I ain't saying she can turn water into wine, but she's a this and that, and and she's always on my mind, and
yeah, man, she's like
but I did get ghosted, like
something holy, and she ghosted me.
Oh my goodness,
if you put holy in there, it's like if you make it make sense in context, I'm like, yeah, man,
that could be really hip, dude. That's fun. Okay, so this got
Larry.
I thought there was some different angles in there, but way to go, Larry. Yeah,
that's
Larry
fun.
Powell.
If you dig in, you do the work, you build the muscle, and that's the fun because if I'd just seen that on my title list, I would not have spent the past 15 minutes or 20 minutes that we've done on this just looking for something to write that day. Yeah. And that's what's fun about this. It forces you to dig more deeply. So
now, if Larry wants to dig more deeply with you on this song, if he wants to maybe do co-write or get some guidance on it or whatever, what's he got to do?
I do coach writing. I do personal private song title challenges. I had someone the other day hook me up with one, set up an appointment for one, and that's just what we did. He's a climber, and we just did song title challenges. So Joe Styles, hey, that was fun. Anyway, so you can see my calendar. You can get all the details. You can book an appointment at songwritingpro.com/coaching. This songwritingpro.com/coaching. And man, I'm just here to help.
Right on, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of another killer song title challenge. Once again, climbers, send in your titles, as many as you want, to info@daredevilproduction.com. Production is singular. There is no S. info@daredevilproduction.com, and put song title challenge in the subject line so it gets into the right folder. This podcast exists because we want you to win. So keep on climbing.
And we'll see you at the top.